So yes, exactly. So I'm not a data person per se. So I'm a hotel person, and what I want to do in this, let's say, 7 minutes is to get you excited about hotels and why data is so important for us, and what are the challenges that we're actually working that we need to solve in hotels. So data in hotels. So I started as a kid in good Greek tradition. My parents had a restaurant, and then I wanted to be in the hospitality business. And I said hotels, and everybody said, don't go to hotels, don't do that. Because that's the kind of stuff that you're going to be busy with. It's making your guests feel at home even if you wish they're where. So actually at their home, right? And I said, no, I really want to do this. And they said, no, you cannot imagine, this is how hotels look like. Very boring, very dusty, old places, not very exciting. But I persisted and I said, no, that's not the kind of hospitality I want to get into. I really want to go to hotels like this. This is the type of hotels that I envisioned working in. I don't know if anyone knows that hotel. Yeah, you do? Yeah, some of them. It's in Singapore. It's about 2,500 hotels. Super complex operations. Very data-driven to actually get their revenue under control. So these are some other examples of hotels where I wanted to work with. Hotels that inspire, hotels that attract people to work in. So very nice properties. So combining data and travel, that's what I like. So I try to find customers in nice destinations. But before I did that in hotels, I had another dream of, when I was a kid actually, I wanted to be an astronomer. And basically my parents said, okay, the new thing there, let's buy him a telescope. So I bought me a telescope, and then I could look at the stars and kind of try to find the constellations all around. And people were telling me, hey, this is a big bear, this is a small bear, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Couldn't see anything out of it. Couldn't make the constellations actually. Couldn't connect the dots. Was really difficult for me. And actually 17 years after working in hotels, I realized that in hotels it's exactly the same thing. We have so much data today in hotels, and we're just not equipped to handle it. We have data about customers, we have data about how people book hotels, about online travel agencies, you name it. And we really have trouble making all the connections, connecting the dots, and taking decisions that sort of affect the revenue. So I said, as a hotel person, not a problem, this is going to be very easy to figure out. Let's build a system, start from scratch, and as probably a good data project, it's kind of started like this. I put everything on a whiteboard, just being with a hotel background, and I said, okay, we need to get this under control, and we need to actually fix it, get all this data all together, and sort of empower hotels to take the right decisions. In the meanwhile, what was happening in the hotel industry, and we had a couple of discussions just before at the break, is that when you're a customer, like people were used to go over to these guys, right? And these are some companies I've worked with, and they used to just book directly with them. Today, anyone books directly there? From you? No? Yeah, nobody knows them. But you do know these guys, right? Okay, so everybody's actually booking with these guys, and they've become sort of the one point of entrance to actually book hotels. And what I was saying is that people like Expedia take 25% commission from hotels. So there's a lot of money flowing out of hotels. So all of this landscape here, the way that it looks, basically, it's very complex in the background. There's systems, there's switches, there's online travel agencies, there's offline travel agencies, there's a whole crazy technology layer that is very difficult to figure out. And if that looks like spaghetti, it's just because it is a real bowl of spaghetti. So, like, for the data scientists out there, indeed, if you want to start doing something there and getting some insights, that is not a good place to start with, right? So that's very complex. But what are some of the key things that we actually want to solve in the hotels, in a nutshell? This is Brussels, right? These are 3 hotels in Brussels that I've plotted there. And this is from Google Maps, and all the rates that all the hotels are actually selling out there. This happens to be some companies that we actually work with. So what are we struggling every day in the hotel business to figure out? Okay, so first of all, it's about pricing. How do we price our hotels? how does the customer actually look at this map and sort of takes decision based on that? That's the first thing. Then the other thing is that, this hotel here has many competitors here, and we are very good in sort of in the hotels to benchmark, see how good we do with our competitors. We want to be the best there. But every move we take has an impact on what the competitive set is doing. So you go down with rates, your competitive set goes down with rates. How does that whole strategy play off? So this is something that often we go and then the rates go down and down and down, and then the whole market goes down. So that we need to take into account. And we have all of these guys there, all the ratings. How do we take that in consideration for pricing? How do we position our product? It has a big, big, big impact. I mean, everybody from you, I'm sure, goes into TripAdvisor to actually check the hotel data. Then airlines. How many arrivals do we have in Brussels? We happen to be very good with that. We know how much inbound traffic we have, and how does that affect demand? How does that sort of help us increase our predictions and our forecasts so we can actually price properly? We don't have twisters in Brussels. I should have put rain. But okay, you never know that we might have, but weather is also affecting, perhaps not if you're coming for business, but if you're coming for leisure. If it's raining, there's just less people coming. And then currency exchanges. Things like Brexit impact, leisure travel very, very quickly. So how do you also factor that in? So lots and lots and lots of decisions to actually think about. But there's even more. Now we also have these guys that are coming. Suddenly people not choose amongst hotels also, but also go to Airbnbs. So you're thinking, okay, how do I take these guys in consideration into my strategy? How do I factor in their pricing, their location, their reviews? How do I sort of stimulate demand, let's say? And then it goes on. What kind of room type you wanna sell? Do we have loyal guests? Are they staying a lot of times? How much are they paying? Maybe they pay a little bit less, etc., etc. And where the business is coming from. And last but not least, I would say what I said with Expedia is that the hotel business is sort of paying a lot of commissions to guys like Expedia, Booking.com. So actually, what's happening in the industry now is that all the hotel companies are busy setting up their data infrastructure. They've sort of understood that they actually need to do something, and that's where we actually start to come in and to say, okay, let's go together and let's fix that. So this is the sort of challenges that we have, and this is what we are sort of busy with every day.